A federal judge has thrown out the criminal cases against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James, ruling that the prosecutor in charge was illegally appointed. Here's a breakdown of what happened and why the decision is significant. Key facts of the ruling. Unlawful appointment of the prosecutor. The judge, Cameron McGowan Curry, held that Lindsay Halligan, picked by Donald Trump's Justice Department to be the interim U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, did not have a lawful right to hold that position. Under U.S. law, a temporary U.S. attorney can only serve for 120 days, unless a court steps in to appoint someone once that period expires. Curry found that the Attorney General overstepped by installing Halligan after the 120-day window. Because of her invalid appointment, all her actions, including securing and signing indictments against Comey and James, were deemed unlawful exercises of executive power. Dismissal, without prejudice. Curry dismissed both cases without prejudice, meaning the government could potentially bring charges again, but only under a properly appointed U.S. attorney. However, in Comey's case, the judge suggested that a re-indictment may be unlikely because the statute of limitations for his alleged crimes may have expired. Why this is a big deal? Undermining political prosecutions. Both Comey and James had argued that the prosecutions were politically motivated. Comey has long been a Trump critic, and James previously brought legal action against Trump. Check on executive power. The ruling is a strong rebuke to the Trump administration's strategy of installing loyalists in key prosecutorial roles. By invalidating Halligan's appointment, the court reinforced limits on how far the president and his allies can go in shaping the Justice Department. Legal precedent. This is not just about these two individuals, it raises broader constitutional and statutory questions about how interim U.S. attorneys are appointed. Reactions and next steps. Comey called the decision a vindication, saying the case against him was driven by malevolence and incompetence. Letitia James said she's heartened by the ruling and remains confident in her legal defense. Justice Department, via Attorney General Pam Bondi, plans to appeal. But even on appeal, the judge's reasoning about the invalid appointment could carry weight, especially because other courts have rejected similar appointment strategies. In summary, the judge didn't rule on whether Comey or James committed the crimes they were accused of. Instead, she threw out the cases on procedural grounds, finding that the prosecutor who brought the charges lacked legal authority, a decision that has major implications for how politically sensitive cases are handled in the future. If you like, I can explain the legal basis for why their prosecutor's appointment was considered unlawful. Do you want me to break that down?